Good day to my dear sons and daughters. You are cordially welcome to Guru Gedara educational program conducted by the Ministry of Education hand in hand with National Institute of Education. Today I am going to discuss very important subject area, that is geometry. When you analyze the structure of your paper 1 part A, you will be getting 8 geometry related questions. In these 8 questions, they are going to check the basic geometrical skills. They are not going for big theorems, big proofs. They are going to check the basic knowledge in geometry. And also when it comes to second paper there are 3 geometry related questions including the construction question. Therefore, if you want to successfully answer those geometry questions, you have to have a concrete knowledge about the basic fundamental theories in geometry. Therefore, our effort is to give you a clear and perfect knowledge in geometry. We have scheduled to give this in 4 sessions, and I am happy to inform you this is the inauguration session, the first session. Here we are going to discuss the basic concepts, the basic principles, and with that knowledge you can develop your geometrical skills and successfully answer the paper without afraid. Then, wishing you all the success, I will start today's lesson. Listen carefully and grasp all the subject areas, because here we are going to collect all the geometrical theorems included in your grade 10 and 11. Everything in one place. But when it comes to your lessons, the geometry lessons are here and there in the book from the beginning to end. But here we are going to compact them, arrange them in order from the simplest to most complex in sequential order. Therefore, if you watch all these 4 sessions, you can get a perfect knowledge, as well as we have illustrated them with diagrams which will help to establish this concept in your mind perfectly. Therefore, follow this carefully and increase your knowledge in geometry. Okay, then we will move on. We are going to discuss the theorems. This is our session 1. I hope after watching this you will be with us in the next 3 sessions also. Okay, look at the first theorem, the basic theorem. The sum of the magnitudes of the angles on a straight line is 180 degrees. A simple thing for grade 11 students. Sum of the magnitudes of angles on a straight line is 180 degrees. Look at the illustration. AB is a straight line. Another straight line comes and meet it. We name it as CD. Now AB and CD meet at C. Then 2 angles are formed. One angle is ACD angle. The other angle is BCD angle. What is the addition of ACD and BCD? The sum of these 2 adjacent angles equal to 180 degrees. Now I told a word adjacent angles. What are adjacent angles? A pair of adjacent angles. Pair means 2 angles. If 2 angles have a common arm, a common vertex, and if the 2 angles lie on either side of common arm, they are known as adjacent angles. Now ACD is one angle, BCD is another angle. They have a common arm CD. They have a common vertex C. Then sum of these 2 angles equal to 180 degrees. What is the theorem? The sum of the magnitudes of the angles on a straight line is 180 degrees. Let us move on to the converse of this. Now they tell, if if the sum of the adjacent angles formed by a straight line meeting another straight line is two right angles. In these theorems, without using 180 degrees, there is a trend of using two right angles. What is the magnitude of two right angles? 180 degrees. Then if the sum of the adjacent angles formed by a straight line meeting another straight line is two right angles. If the addition is 180 degrees, then the two arms which are not common, there is a common arm, the two angles which are not common makes a straight line. Let us look at a diagram. ACD is one angle. Let us take another angle BCD. BCD is another angle. Now they are adjacent angles. They should give them as 180 degrees. If ACD angle plus BCD angle equal 180 degrees, what will happen? If the addition of those two angles equal to 180 degrees, AC and BC will lie on the same straight line. Then we can say ACB is a straight line. Okay? In the first one we told, if it is a straight line, sum of the adjacent angles 180 degrees. Now we tell, if the sum of adjacent angles 180 degrees, the straight lines which are not common, the arms which are not common make a straight line, right? Same thing other side. Now we will go to another theorem. Another theorem, sum of the magnitudes of the angles around the point is 360 degrees. Very familiar relationship to you. You have studied this, but I promise to teach you everything from the beginning. Geometry from A to Z. Therefore, I have to mention it. Even there are some students, they might have forgotten it. There are some expert students. My program, these sessions are designed for all those groups of students. Therefore, spend 2-3 minutes on this. It will not be a harm. It will be useful to every student. I will show it by a very nice diagram. O is a point. Then you can take several angles around O. Then their sum is equal to 360 degrees. Then look at the slide. AOB angle, that is one angle. Another angle BOC angle. Then another angle AOC angle. Now AOB is shown in blue color, BOC is shown in green color, and AOC is shown in red color. What is the addition of the three angles? Addition equal to 360 degrees. Sum of the magnitudes of the angles around the point is 360 degrees. Okay? Then we will move on to another step. Here that is about vertically opposite angles. You can remember vertically opposite angles. Vertically opposite angles formed by the intersection of two straight lines are equal. What should happen? The two straight lines should intersect. Then what will happen? Two pairs of vertically opposite angles are formed. The theorem says those two vertically opposite angles are equal. Look, AB is a straight line. Another straight line CD. Now AB and CD will intersect. Now vertical opposite angles are formed. Let us see. The two straight lines intersect at O. Then in red color I have shown vertically opposite angles. What about their magnitudes? We can't tell the magnitude, but we can give an idea. Their magnitudes are equal. We can tell AOC angle equal BOD angle. The vertical opposite angles formed by the intersection of two straight lines are equal. Another vertical opposite angles, another pair of vertical opposite angles. What are they? AOD angle equal to BOC. Therefore, AOC angle equal BOD, AOD angle equal BOC. Vertically opposite angles are equal. Now these theorems are important because when you are proving sums, you have to write the reasons. When you are writing reasons, if you tell something, you have to give the reason. If you show two angles are equal because they are vertically opposite, within brackets you have to write the reason vertically opposite angles are equal. Therefore, even you may feel that these are small concepts, basic theorems, but it is important when you are reasoning. Okay, we will move on to another one. This is related to parallel lines. You have studied about parallel lines. When two parallel straight lines are intersected by a transversal, there are two parallel lines. The line that intersect them is known as transversal. The term transversal, remember it. When you are writing answers, you have to use those terms. When a transversal intersects a pair of parallel lines, or when two parallel lines are intersected by a transversal so formed, what will happen? Alternate angles are equal. Alternate angles are equal. Later we will see the shape of alternate angles, how we observe them. Second one, the corresponding angles are equal. Third one, the sum of each pair of allied angles formed equal to two right angles. This is coming under one theorem, 3 in 1. When a transversal intersects a pair of parallel straight lines, what is the first one? Alternate angles are equal. Second one, corresponding angles are equal. Third one, allied angles are supplementary. Now let us observe them one by one. When a transversal intersects a pair of parallel lines, the alternate angles formed are equal. Now look, AB and CD are parallel lines. AB and CD are two parallel lines, a pair of parallel lines. How to show parallelness? By using equal number of arrowheads. When they give this in this way in a diagram, we know they are parallel. When two lines are parallel, a transversal is drawn. We name it as EF. Now there are two parallel lines AB and CD and a transversal EF. Then what will happen? They will intersect AB at X and the transversal will intersect CD at Y. Then we will see a pair of alternate angles. In blue color, I have shown a pair of alternate angles. According to the theorem, because the two lines AB and CD are parallel, these two alternate angles become equal. Then AXY angle equal XYD angle. Now some students may think AXY, can't we get AXE? No problem. AXY or AXE. The length of an arm is not affecting the magnitude. Here we are talking about the magnitude of the angle. Simply I have given as AXY angle equal XYD because the alternate angle goes from Y. Then we can see another pair of alternate angles. Another pair of alternate angles. BXY. What is alternate to BXY? Alternate to BXY is XYC. Therefore, BXY or BXE. equal to CYX or CYF. I told you, length of the arm is not a matter for the magnitude of that particular angle. Then what is this theorem? When a transversal intersects a pair of parallel lines, the alternate angles formed are equal. That is only one. You can remember we studied three things: alternate angles, corresponding angles and allied angles. Now look at the corresponding angles. When a transversal intersects a pair of parallel lines, the corresponding angles formed are also equal. Corresponding angles formed are equal. Let's observe corresponding angles. In such a diagram, there are four pairs of corresponding angles. There are four pairs of corresponding angles. We will observe them one by one. Look, in blue color, I have shown a pair of corresponding angles. Let's identify them. BXF angle and DYX angle are the corresponding angles. Because AB and CD are parallel, we can tell those corresponding angles are equal. The theorem says when the two lines are parallel, the corresponding angles become equal. Now I will ask you a question. Are there alternate and corresponding and allied angles when the lines are not parallel? Yes. Even though the lines are not parallel, there are alternate angles. We can identify alternate angles. We can identify corresponding angles and we can identify allied angles. But the problem is we cannot tell any relation. We cannot tell alternate angles are equal, corresponding angles are equal and allied angles are supplementary unless the two lines are parallel. There are alternate corresponding allied angles, but they become equal or supplementary only when the lines are parallel. Then we will identify another pair of corresponding angles. You can see in the diagram, in same color, I have shown another pair of corresponding angles. That is BXY angle equal DYE angle. Now we identified two corresponding angles. Let's move on to another pair of corresponding angles. Now you can see that. What are those two angles? AXF angle and CYX angle. Those corresponding angles are also equal. Now the final. There are two more corresponding angles. Altogether there are four pairs of corresponding angles. AXY angle equal CYE angle. What is this theorem then? When a transversal intersects a pair of parallel lines, the corresponding angles formed are equal. We will move on to allied angles, the continuation of the same theorem. Look at that. When a transversal intersects a pair of parallel lines, what will happen? The sum of each pair of allied angles formed equal to two right angles. Two right angles mean 180 degrees. Another name for 180 degrees, supplementary. We can say the two angles are supplementary. Look at the diagram. I will illustrate that concept also using a diagram. Then I think it will be easier for you. Now you can see a pair of allied angles. What are those two allied angles? AXY and CYX. Earlier alternate angles are equal, corresponding angles are equal. What about allied angles? Equal? No, allied angles are supplementary. Allied angles are supplementary. Therefore, that is the concept. Sometimes allied angles will be equal if the transversal is perpendicular to parallel lines. If the transversal line is perpendicular to parallel lines, only on that occasion allied angles will be equal. That is an extraordinary situation. Remember, the theorem says allied angles are supplementary. There is another pair of allied angles. Look at that. That pair is given in blue color. Addition of the two blue color angles also supplementary. BXY angle plus DYX angle equal to 180 degrees. There are two pairs of allied angles. They are supplementary. In a diagram like this, there are two pairs of alternate angles. There are four pairs of corresponding angles, and again there are two pairs of allied angles. Alternate angles are equal, corresponding angles are equal, and allied angles are supplementary. That means equal to 180 degrees. Now, we will observe the converse of this theorem. Converse of this theorem. That means using the given information, let's try to prove the line that intersects the transversal are parallel lines. Parallel lines. Let's look at that one. When two straight lines are intersected by a transversal, here we don't mention parallelness. Just two straight lines intersected by a transversal. I told even when the lines are not parallel, there are alternate corresponding and allied angles, but we can't tell any relationship. Now in the converse, they will give us some relation. Based on that, we will try to show the lines are parallel. What they say? When two straight lines are intersected by a transversal, if a pair of alternate angles are equal, a pair of alternate angles are equal. O. What happens if the pair of alternate angles are equal? Those two straight lines will be parallel. Continuation of the theorem, after that I will illustrate. Second part of it, if a pair of corresponding angles are equal. O. If the corresponding angles are equal, then also those two straight lines will become parallel. Third one, if the sum of a pair of allied angles is 180 degrees. Converse of the theorem, what will happen? Then the two straight lines are parallel to each other. If parallel, alternate angles are equal, corresponding angles are equal, and allied angles are supplementary. If alternate angles are equal, corresponding angles are equal, and the allied angles are supplementary, those two straight lines are parallel to each other. We will establish this concept in our mind by using suitable diagrams. First one, when two straight lines are intersected by a transversal, if a pair of alternate angles are equal, then the two straight lines are parallel to each other. A simple concept. You know these things. I want to take all these things to one places. Look at the diagram. AB and CD, they haven't given as parallel. It may look like parallel, but my advice is unless they give as information, don't consider them as parallel lines. It may look like, but don't consider them as parallel lines. Then AB and CD are two straight lines. Now they tell if AXE angle equal DYF angle. Look at the AXE angle and DYF angle. They look like what type of angles? They are alternate angles. If the two alternate angles are equal, then we can go to the converse. What happened? Then AB line is parallel to the CD line. Did you understand? When the two straight lines are intersected by a transversal, if a pair of alternate angles are equal, then the two straight lines are parallel to each other. If lines are parallel, alternate angles are equal. If alternate angles are equal, the two lines are parallel. We will move on to corresponding. Look at that. When two straight lines are intersected by a transversal, if a pair of corresponding angles are equal. If a pair of corresponding angles are equal, then the two straight lines are parallel to each other. Very simple thing, no? If corresponding angles are equal, then the two straight lines are parallel to each other. Here also initially they don't tell AB and CD are parallel. They are not parallel. As we know, they are not parallel. Let's try to prove that they are parallel based on a theorem. Look at that. If BXF angle equal to DYF angle. Now it looks like corresponding angles. It looks like corresponding angles. Sometimes you might have studied different letters to remember the shape of alternate angles, corresponding angles and allied angles. You can remember in any way you like. The only thing I want you to remember it correctly. Then you can answer the questions very well. Now look, I have shown a pair of corresponding angles and the question says those two corresponding angles are equal. Then if a pair of corresponding angles are equal, then the two straight lines, here they may mention AB and CD, then those two straight lines are parallel to each other. Okay. Then we will move on to another theorem. When two straight lines are intersected by a transversal, if the sum of a pair of allied angles equal to 180 degrees, then the two straight lines are parallel to each other. We studied alternate and corresponding angles, then this is about allied angles. What happened? When two straight lines are intersected by a transversal, if the sum of a pair of allied angles is 180 degrees or equal to two right angles or supplementary, then the two straight lines are parallel to each other. Then the two straight lines are parallel to each other. Look at the diagram. AB and CD, they are not given as parallel. EF is the transversal intersecting AB at X and CD at Y. We can see a pair of allied angles. You can see a pair of allied angles, BXE angle and DYF angle. The question or the situation gives BXE angle plus DYF angle equal to 180 degrees. That means the allied angles are supplementary. If the allied angles are supplementary, what will happen to AB and CD? Then AB is parallel to CD. AB is parallel to CD. Now let us revise these angles related to parallel lines. First of all, the basic theorem. When two parallel straight lines are intersected by a transversal, so formed, alternate angles are equal, corresponding angles are equal and allied angles are supplementary. Then if a pair of straight lines are intersected by a transversal, if alternate angles are equal O, corresponding angles are equal O, allied angles are supplementary, then those two straight lines are parallel to each other. Now we will move on to another theorem, that is about congruency. Congruency is also very important part in your syllabus. Everywhere you find congruencies. You study congruency in grade 10, but it is used in several lessons, even in grade 11. Then there are 4 cases of congruency. We will study them one by one. If two sides and the included angle of one triangle are equal to two sides and the included angle of another triangle, then those two triangles are congruent under SAS. What they say? Two sides and the included angle. Now ABC is a triangle. DEF is a triangle. Then we can identify two equal angles. They say AC equal to DF. Let's take another equal pair of sides AB and DE. Now AC equal to DF, AB equal to DE. What is the included angle? The most important term in this definition. Included angle. The angle between the two known sides. You know AC and AB, therefore included angle is BAC angle. In the other one, DE and DF are the two known sides, included angle is EDF. Now if two included angles and two sides are equal, then those two triangles are congruent under the condition SAS. SAS. Triangle ABC congruent to triangle DEF under the condition SAS. Here two sides and two known sides and the included angle. Other triangle also two known sides and the included angle. You have to remember the term included angle, that is SAS. Altogether there are 4 cases of congruency. We will move on to another one. If two angles, now there are two angles and a side of one triangle are equal to two angles and the corresponding side of another triangle, then the two triangles are congruent under the condition AAS. AAS means angle, angle, side. Look, there are two triangles. First triangle ABC, second triangle DEF. Now there are two triangles. In these two triangles, they tell A angle equal to D angle. The two angles are equal. Then B angle equal to E angle. Then you can tell BAC angle equal EDF angle. ABC angle equal DEF angle. Now two angles are known. Then there should be a side. That side is the corresponding side. What is the meaning of corresponding side? Now AC is opposite to the red color angle or the B angle. AC is opposite to the red color angle. Then in the other triangle, what is opposite to the red color angle? That is DF. Now AC and DF are the corresponding sides. The two angles will be at any location, any place, but the two sides should be corresponding sides. If two angles and a side of one triangle are equal to two angles and the corresponding side of another triangle, then the two triangles are congruent under the condition angle, angle, side. In short form, you tell it as AAS. Then you can see triangle ABC congruent to triangle DEF, condition is AAS. At the examination also, you can show the short form. It is accepted. Then this is the second way. We will go on to another way. I told there are 4 ways of congruency. We will move on to another way. That is, I think, very simple to you. If the 3 sides of a triangle are equal to the 3 sides of another triangle, then the two triangles are congruent under the condition SSS. 3 sides equal to 3 sides. Very simple thing to understand. Then those two triangles are congruent under the condition SSS. We will look at that on an illustration. ABC is a triangle. DEF is another triangle. Now there is a pair of triangles. Let us see equal sides. AC equal to DF. AB equal to DE. Then the remaining sides BC equal to EF. Now 3 sides of the triangle ABC equal to 3 sides of the triangle DEF. Now these two triangles are congruent under the condition side, side, side. In short form you tell it as SSS. If the 3 sides of a triangle are equal to the 3 sides of another triangle, then the two triangles are congruent under the condition side, side, side. Then we can see triangle ABC congruent to triangle DEF under the condition side, 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 or S, S, S. Now we will go to the final case, that is related to right angle triangles. If the lengths of the hypotenuse and the side of a right angle triangle are equal to the lengths of the hypotenuse and another side of a right angle triangle, then the two triangles are congruent. Now for this one, the two triangles should be right angle triangles. RHS condition or right angle hypotenuse and side condition can be applied only for right angle triangles. What they say? There are two right angle triangles. Now you can see two right angle triangles as ABC and DEF. Now there are two right angle triangles. Then the hypotenuse should be equal to the hypotenuse of the other triangle. Then AC equal to DF. With that one, there should be another side. There are two remaining sides in each triangle. Another side should be equal. Now we can say AB equal to DE. Now there are two right angle triangles. Hypotenuse equal to the hypotenuse of the other one. Side equal to the side of another one. Now the necessary facts are okay. The conditions are satisfied. Now we can say the two triangles are congruent under the condition right angle hypotenuse and side, or in short RHS. RHS. Then we can say the triangle ABC congruent to triangle DEF under the condition RHS. Now we have studied the four cases of congruency. First one, SAS, side angle side. Second one, AAS, angle angle side. Third one, SSS, side side side. Last one, RHS, right angle hypotenuse and side. Some students try to make every time when they see a right angle, they try to use RHS. No, right angle that theorem can be applied only if it satisfies this condition, RHS condition, right. Then with that one, we will move on to another part, another theorem, that is about angles in a triangle. They say the exterior angle formed when a side of a triangle is produced is equal to the sum of the two interior opposite angles. Exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of two interior opposite angles. Look at this one. Now what is the exterior angle formed? ACD. ACD is the exterior angle formed. What the theorem says? This exterior angle is equal to the sum of two interior opposite angles, the pair of interior opposite angles. Look at the interior opposite angles. One is ABC, interior angle is ACB, interior opposite angles are ABC and BAC. BAC. Now we can tell ACD equal to ABC plus BAC. What is the theorem? The exterior angle formed when a side of a triangle is produced is equal to the interior opposite angles. Addition of the two interior opposite angles. ACD angle equal ABC angle plus BAC angle. Okay? Right. Now we can go to another concept or another theorem, interior angles of a triangle. Today we are going to discuss very basic things. Wait with us, right? In our future sessions, you will study all the theorems related to this. We have to start from A and end up with Z. I told you at the beginning also. But there are some students who may feel that these things are also valuable, right? Then what is the addition of the interior angles of a triangle? You know, 180 degrees. O equal to two right angles. The sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. Look at one interior angle, ABC angle. Another one, BAC angle. Another one, ACB angle. Now what is the addition of these three angles? Equal to 180 degrees. What is the theorem? The sum of the three interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees, or you can say two right angles. Move on to another theorem. It is about isosceles triangles. What is an isosceles triangle? Basically you may tell, if two sides of a triangle are equal, then that triangle is an isosceles triangle. Okay, let's see what are the theorems that can be generated using the isosceles triangles. They say, if two sides of a triangle are equal, the angles opposite to equal sides are equal. If two sides are equal, opposite angles are equal. Now ABC is an isosceles triangle where AB equal AC. Now what are their opposite angles? Opposite to AB you find C angle. Opposite to AC you find ABC angle, or the B angle in short. Then AB equal AC, then the theorem says opposite angles are equal. What is opposite to AB is C angle, what is opposite to AC is B angle. Therefore we can simply say, if AB equal to AC, then ABC angle equal to ACB angle. If two sides of a triangle are equal, the angles opposite to equal sides are equal. Now the converse of the theorem. Most these theorems have converse. Therefore we have to remember only one thing. Other side is automatically generated in our mind. Right. The opposite sides equal when the angles are equal. Now the sides opposite to equal angles of a triangle are equal. Same thing other way around. Look at the triangle ABC. They tell two angles are equal. Now what are the two equal angles? I have given ABC angle equal ACB angle. They are the two equal angles. When the two angles are equal, then also we can tell isosceles. Then what about the sides? Opposite to B angle we find AC, opposite to C angle we find AB. Then we can say, if ABC angle equal to ACB angle, then AB equal to AC. If two angles are equal, the opposite sides are equal. This is only in isosceles triangles. Then the theorem, the sides opposite to equal angles of a triangle are equal. When sides are equal, opposite angles are equal. When angles are equal, opposite sides are equal. Using the same relationship, you can tell in an equilateral triangle, three sides are equal, then the three opposite angles are also equal. In an equilateral triangle, three sides are equal, therefore the three opposite angles are equal. Three opposite angles are equal mean one angle is 60 degrees. One angle is 60 degrees. Remember that also. Okay. Then we have done several theorems. Now let's move on to simple questions based on these theorems. We studied about sum of the angles on a straight line, angles around a point, angles related to parallel lines, then congruency, and at last angles of a triangle. Now let's try to answer several questions based on those theorems. Look at this question. If AB is a straight line and AOC angle is 115 degrees, find the magnitude of BOC angle. Look at this. AOC angle is given as 115 degrees. We know AOB is a straight line. Therefore, Sum of the angles on a straight line is 180 degrees. Then how to find BOC? We can tell 115 plus BOC angle equal 180 degrees. Then to find BOC angle, we can subtract 115 degrees from 180 degrees. What is the answer? Simple mathematics. BOC angle equal 65 degrees. Simple, no? You can do these things. Very simple. In your paper also you will be getting these simple type questions. Because they say the first paper will check the basic mathematical skills. Basic mathematical skills. Maybe they are asking these things. Get ready. Answer past paper questions. Follow the past papers. Do revisions. You can success in your examination. Let's move on to another question. What is the theorem? Sum of the angles around the point is 360 degrees. Now O is the point. There are 4 angles around. Now we can build up an equation. What is the equation? That is 73 degrees, 2x, x, 68. Addition equal to 360 degrees. 73 degrees plus 68 degrees plus x plus 2x equal to 360 degrees. Now it is a simple equation. Now you have to solve this simple equation and find x. Find the value of x. When you add 73 and 68, answer 141. X and 2x are like terms. When you add the two like terms, answer is 3x equal to 360 degrees. Then take 360 degrees minus 141 equal to 219 degrees. That is equal to 3x. Divide both sides by 3. When you divide both sides by 3, x equal 219 upon 3, that means 73 degrees. Then x equal to 73 degrees. If you want to find 2x, you can multiply 73 by 2, 146 degrees. But the question asks only x. Therefore, x equal 73 degrees. Now this one, based on what theorem? What is the theorem? When you look at this diagram, something will come to your mind. What is this theorem? Vertically opposite angle theorem. Vertically opposite angle theorem. AB and CD are two straight lines. They intersect at O. When two straight lines are intersected, so formed, vertical opposite angles are equal. That is the theorem. Apply the theorem. 115 equal to x plus 35 degrees. X plus 35 degrees equal 115 degrees. Build up an equation and solve it. X plus 35 degrees equal 115 degrees. Then x equal 115 degrees minus 35 degrees. Therefore, x equal 80 degrees. When x become 30 degrees, x plus 35 will become 115 degrees. Now what happened to the vertical opposite angles? They become equal. See, when you study the theorem correctly and if you have a basic knowledge in mathematics, you can answer this. There will be some students, those who have missed geometry things, but if you watch these 4 sessions, I assure you will get a very good knowledge about the geometrical theorems. We will move on to another question. AB and CD are straight lines which are parallel. Now say parallel lines. Find x. When two parallel lines are intersected by a transversal, so formed, alternate angles are equal, corresponding angles are equal and allied angles are supplementary. Now how to find x? They have given 147 degrees. Corresponding to 147 is DYP angle. That is also 147 degrees. There you use one theorem. DYP angle equal 147 degrees. Now using the knowledge of straight line, angles on a straight line, you can find the value of x. X equal 180 degrees minus 147 degrees. Now x is how much? With x and 147, sum of the two angles should be 180 degrees. Using simple mathematics, 180 minus 147, x equal 33 degrees. 33 degrees. After that, another question. AB and CD are straight lines which are parallel to each other. If they don't tell parallel, you can't use these theorems. You can't apply the theorems unless they mention the two lines are parallel. AB and CD are straight lines which are parallel to each other. Find x according to the given data. Now you looking at the diagram, you try to find the value of x. Sometimes you cannot find by one step. You have to have two attempts. Finding an intermediate angle, you have to find the required one. Then look at this. They have given 52 degrees for BAQ angle. BAQ angle 52 degrees. Then if it is 52, we can tell DCA angle also 52 degrees. What is the reason? They are corresponding angles. Then now we know DCA angle equal 52 degrees. Using that, we can find x. Now QACP is a straight line. Therefore, sum of the angles at C is 180 degrees. We can write x plus 52 degrees equal 180 degrees. Therefore, x equal 180 degrees minus 52 degrees. What is the value of x? X equal 128 degrees. 128 degrees. Nothing but the theorems we studied today. You can apply those simple theorems and find the values. Right. Now this diagram, little bit it looks like little bit complicated, but let's analyze it and see whether it is actually difficult, because some of our students get afraid just by looking at the diagram. But calm and quietly, if you analyze the diagram, it is nothing. It is nothing. Let's see. Look at this. When there are two parallel lines, but there isn't a transversal. There isn't a transversal. Therefore, we have to get a transversal. 80 degrees. Using 80 degrees, we can tell this particular angle is M. Let's find M. M is equal to, M and 80 are allied angles. M is equal to 180 degrees minus 80 degrees. M is equal to 100. Then if M is 100, you can find x. How to find x? Angles around a point is 360 degrees. According to that, x is equal to 360 degrees minus 130 and 100. Then x equal to 360 degrees minus 230 degrees. X is equal to 130 degrees. Now, if you know x is 130, using your alternate angles knowledge, you can find x equal 130. Look at next one. Find the value of x and y. You have to find the value of x and y. Then, by considering the triangle CDE, find the value of x first. Look at this triangle. X equal to 60 degrees plus 44 degrees plus x, 180. Then x equal to 180 degrees minus the two angles 104. Therefore, x equal 180 degrees minus 104 degrees, x equal to 76 degrees. After that, you have to find y. Y. To find y, you have to consider the BDE triangle. Look at the BDE triangle. Using the BDE triangle and the exterior angle knowledge, you can find y. You can write down a relationship. Y plus 44 degrees plus 76. Exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of two interior opposite angles, equal to 130 degrees. Then y equal to 130 degrees minus addition of 76 and 44, that is 120 degrees. Then y equal to 130 degrees. Y equal 130 degrees. When 130 degrees minus 120, answer is 10 degrees. Y equal 10 degrees. Right. Then my dear students, now we have come to the end of our first geometry session. Now if you have missed this, those who think this is very important and those who have missed it, you can watch this again and again using the channel NIE, the YouTube channel NIE. Understanding about this theorem, you have to get ready for the next sessions. I will meet you with the sessions, another 3 sessions. Let's meet again with the second session near soon. Thank you very much.